Would you like to know our off-season work camper duties? Hi, I'm Steve Turtle and I'm a work camper. This is a channel about Jill and me, our adventures, our travels, and a whole lot of work camper stuff. Now, if you're a work camper or you're dreaming to become a work camper, you should subscribe and ring that bell. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification every time I post a new story. You don't want to miss one. Last week, we were celebrating Halloween here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. And if you missed that story and you'd like to see it, I'll leave a link right up there. This week, we're talking about our off-season work camper duties here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. Some restaurant confusion, our second of 3 camper projects, gate guard slow down, and Sadie the Amish dog. Ruff. Have you ever had a crappy meal at a restaurant? I went to a restaurant the other night, and at the end of the meal, the waitress came by and she asked me how everything was. I told her that the fish was a little dry and the breading was a little bit overdone. She apologized and said she had did the best she could. She returned with the check, and I could tell she was a little bit upset. But look what was on the check. She charged me $100 for a fishing fee. I asked, "Why are you charging me $100? She said, "Well, I jumped out of the boat and caught the fish myself. That's the going rate." That's just silly. Work camping update here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. What's up? During the summer season, it's all about taking care of the guests. Maintenance, pool care, and lawn care. Well, the summer season is over and we are in the winter off season. We still have all the sites open, but next week we start turning off the water and winterizing the sites. So we are in the transition to winter mode. First, we winterize all the seasonal sites. Then all the sites without frost-free spigots. Ultimately, we will have 24 sites and 6 cabins to manage through the off-season. The office will be closed. The phones will be transferred over to the other campground, White Oak. After the transition is complete, we'll be available for snow removal, maintenance, checking messages, and assisting customers as needed. Snow removal? I hope we don't have any of that. I know I won't be out there pushing a snow shovel. After all that, Jill and I will be working on projects. The grist mill is our major project. First, we have to clear out a storage area and organize it a little bit to make room for the things we're going to take out of the mill. The mill, we're going to clear out the second floor, not the bottom floor, but the second floor, we're going to clear out all the antiques and all the artifacts and make a nice clean pallet. And then we're going to set up areas for Guildcraft merchants to sell their goods. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a great project, and we're really looking forward to working on that. Once we get that done, we're going to get the millstone and gearing ready and get that operational. That's going to be fun too. I can't wait. I hope we're successful. We're not quite sure how much work it's really going to take, but we're going to give it a shot. So hopefully by the spring we'll have the mill and the gearing and the millstone working, and the floor will be opened up to a bunch of shop owners, and we're going to be selling some stuff and showing off all the artifacts and the mill, and it's really going to be fun. I'm looking forward to next season. Lots of painting, pressure washing, and general cleaning, and a whole lot more. I have a list of all the projects, and it keeps growing and growing. Heck, I'm still battling the nuts. I don't even know if I'll get to the projects for worrying about the nuts and the leaves. They're everywhere. I was out cleaning up nuts, and I got a full cart. It's loaded. And I still have that pile, and I have another pile right over there yet. I think I pretty much handled all the nuts, but that's not the end of it. Now I got to deal with the leaves. But that's okay. I have this awesome leaf blower. And while I'm doing all those projects, I got to deal with the weather. They're already calling for snow. It's November. It's winter. Of course it's going to snow. I don't know why they're so surprised. It's Pennsylvania. It's going to snow. And with all this impending doom, I've started winterizing the camper. I've still got a lot more that I want to do, but I've only winterized my supply water. So I put a heated hose and some foam and insulation and you know, frost-free, some heat tape and all that good stuff. So I started that, and I got that done. Next, I'm going to work on a couple other things. I think that I'm going to do one of those videos all-inclusive about winterizing your camper. I'm not talking about putting a little antifreeze in. I'm talking about winterize your camper so you can live in it, in the snow, in the cold. It might be a pretty good video. I don't know, we'll see. Our goals for staying here during the off season and into the next season are simple. We're going to squirrel away a little cash into our savings so that we can have some travel money. We're going to have to purchase a truck. And then Jill, when the season starts, she's going to gain experience as the office manager. And then I'm going to gain a little experience during the off season, winterizing the campground and doing some of these projects. So we're looking at it as a way to grow in our work camping career. And we'll also be close to family. We're going to be able to enjoy our family during the holidays, and I don't know, probably hang out every once in a while and have a dinner and play a game, bowl, and do stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a hoot. We're going to have fun. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about our second of 3 camper projects. Today I'm working on project number 2 of the 3 projects that we decided we were going to tackle on our new travel trailer. Project number 1's been completed, and that was the swivel TV. We've eliminated that and went to a standard TV with a bracket and everything. So if you'd like to see that video, I'll leave a link to that right up there. And like I said, today we're going to start project number 2, and that's the sliding door in our bedroom. So why would we do that? So with the sliding door back, we've got about 7 inches between the door and the foot of the bed. And then when we slide the door shut and eliminate that thing, we're going to gain, I don't know, almost 2 inches. So not only will we gain a little room there at the foot of the bed, we'll also gain all that wall space. So if we wanted to hang clothes or do something like that, or put a hat rack up, or I don't know, we might need a hat rack, but put something up on that wall, we can do so. So that's our project, and that's what we're going to do. The first thing I got to do is figure out how to get this valance down. Now we're going to tear something up. The removal, the demolition. We're going to pull this thing down, tear it up, bust it up. Afraid it's gonna fall on my head now. It's gonna fall on my head. I don't know, the whole door and everything. You gonna help? You gonna help? I'm just pulling screws out and hoping for the best. Jill came to my rescue. Man, they put a lot of screws and staples in this valance. A little coffee. Oops. Same cup. Where'd we get this cup? Let's see if I had glasses. Branson, there it is. There you go. Branson, Missouri. Farmhouse restaurant. Of course, I have to have my coffee. I finished the removal. I removed some hardware, took some detailed measurements, and made a few concise markings. Next, I took the door over to the shop. I've got the door removed and got it over here in the shop. It's got it all measured out. I'm going to cut it so it fits in the doorway. I do not believe Steve is wearing his hearing protection. So when I cut the end off, it left I cut the support out and it left it hollow on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece that was cut off and I'm going to take the laminate off of both sides, sand it, push it in there, glue it, just like it was on the end of the door. it'll look pretty good. Won't look terrible. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This was the end piece that I cut off, and it left the same return on the other side, so it's hollow on the other side of the door. But I take these two pieces of laminate off, and this piece right here, I put in the other part of put it back in the door. A little glue, and the end piece is done. Next, I just leave it here overnight and let it dry. Doesn't look too bad. Got a little bit of a raw edge right there. Not much I can do with that. That'll be up against the door sill, so I'm not worried. I think it turned out all right. I had to run to Lowe's, pick up some supplies, 3 hinges, a doorknob, some trim, and the door is hung. I still have a little work to do. I've got the trim to do and that little spot above the door, so it's still not done. And the most important thing, Jill is happy and satisfied with the upgrades. You know, before we decided to stay here, we had planned to go to Texas and do a little gate guarding before we continue with our adventures. So I like to stay abreast of the gate guard situation, and I follow a couple Facebook groups, and I like the conversations that a lot of times that are started about gate guarding. So I happened to be on a gate guard Facebook group, and I ran across a conversation, and it was pretty interesting to me. It talked about the slowdown of gate guards. The question that was posted was, are there any gates available in South Texas? Simple. So while looking at the conversation, 2 comments caught my eye. The first one, permanent gates will be a thing of the past. And the second one, that 3 drillers had determined that they were no longer going to use gate guards. They're going to switch to technology. So I messaged one of the commenters and asked what were the 3 companies. And she responded they were Felix, Pioneer, and Patterson. Well, I haven't been doing a lot of this gate guarding, and I do read a good bit on Facebook and follow some different groups, but I've never heard of those 3 companies. So I'm not quite sure they're major drillers. I think it's all hogwash. For the most part, I thought the conversation was a really good read. There were a lot of good comments in there, and I like to stay abreast of the situation down there in the great state of Texas. But I think it's the normal course of business. The snowbirds have started to flock to Texas, so there's a lot of guards. And the gate guard companies are coming into their year-end budgets, and they're a little bit slowed down too. So with the abundance of guards and a slowing of money, it's normal. There's not going to be a whole bunch of need for gate guards. But there'll be jobs down there. There's always jobs down there. There's so many companies down there. I'm sure there'll be jobs. Might have to wait a little while, but it's worth the wait. So if you're looking into going to gate guard, get on down there. They're not going to run out of gates. Technology is not going to take over. Not anytime soon. Maybe eventually it might take over, but not anytime soon. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. Now I want to end on a positive note. This is Sadie. She's the Amish dog from the farm next door. Occasionally, she breaks loose and comes over for some petting. And she scrounges around and looks for food too. But she's a really sweet dog. I've grown to love her. She's a wonderful dog. And I think she wants affection more than she does food. But anyway, that's Sadie. And that is one of the perks of working here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. Well, that's our story for the week. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, click like down below and smash that subscribe button if you'd like to hear more stories like this one. New stories every week on Wednesday, right here on this YouTube channel. And ring that bell. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification every time I post a new story. You don't want to miss one. Until later, thanks for your time. Bye.